Because a lot of people like, I'm going to invest when I make a bunch of money. And then like that never really comes. And I mean, God, if you would have, been buying Apple stock 15 years ago, 20 years ago, even if it was only like $1,000 a year, you'd be in a great place today.
It's funny because we want to wait until we feel like we've made it before we start investing, but actually investing is part of how we make it. Because if you're what I've found in my life, and it sounds like you've experienced the same, is that your lifestyle begins to expand to match the amount of money that you have, and that you automatically go into a little bit of austerity when you don't have money available to go and do those things. So you can live a phenomenal life, but if you can take 20 or 30 or 40 or even 50% of your income and you can put that into savings or a wealth account that's going to grow, and you're then going to make investments from that, it can really start to look like a totally different picture. I mean, even a big example for people who are sitting on a couple $100,000, if you took $200,000 and you invested it into a project, a real estate project, or some type of investment that's going to give you a great return like private equity does, if it doubles every 5 years, from year 1 to year 5, that 200 turns into 4. And then the next 4 turns into 8. And in 15 years, the 200,000 is 1.6 million. So it really begins to start paying off. And it seems like such a small amount of money at the beginning. And for some of the people listening, 200,000 is a ton of money. For some, that's, what they make in a month or a quarter or half a year. But the point is, that same principle applies regardless of the size. And so if you're running your business, like you're saying, you want to be able to pull that money out. And on top of it, you're in the lending business, right? You're working with people, helping them get private capital, and lenders want to see that you have a balance sheet. And one of the best ways to build that balance sheet is through, making those investments and setting cash aside so that you can be, ready for whatever happens.
100%. I think there's, so two things I want to hit on, because one is it's, discipline, right? I mean, all great things in your life. If you think about your life, Steven, or anyone watching this, think about anything that you've done really great in. It's because you were disciplined in order to get there. Like when you were growing up and you were in the best shape, it's because you were disciplined and went to the gym and you ate well. You were disciplined. If you were crushing at work, it's because you were disciplined in whatever it is that you were, doing in your, business or career. If you have a great relationship, it's because you're disciplined in working on the relationship. Like every great thing in your life leads back to discipline, right? And I think, in today's world, the second thing is we all want this shit to happen overnight, and it's just, it's not reality. And I agree. As soon as today people make a little bit of money, it's like, because it's not about how much you make, it's how much you're spending. And as soon as people are making more, they're spending, consuming, and they're spending it on things that, aren't doing anything good for them. And I think, I've been very disciplined, in my life. We all go through times where we're more disciplined and less disciplined, right?
Totally.
And that's okay. Sometimes you need to be a little less disciplined and have some fun, right? But you got, as long as you can come back, and it's the ones that can get back on track, I think that's important. But, I think, when people today,
when I've been at times in my life where I actually feel the best is typically when I'm the most disciplined. It's kind of ironic. Exactly right. It's like abstaining, right? When you're doing drinking, all the good things. Eating clean or meditating every day or working out consistently. It's like some people look at that who are not being as disciplined and are saying, hey, you're not really enjoying your life. But ironically, inside your body, you actually feel amazing when you know that you've got this rigid system. And it's good to be flexible. It's good to break out of it every now and then. But knowing that you can do that when you set your mind to it gives you a lot of confidence.
It does. And I think it's like you're upset sometimes doing the hard work, but to be honest, the reality is you're more upset when you don't do the fucking hard work, and I think you got to keep that in mind. And that helps push me to wake up in the morning and work out, right? Like I don't wake up and jump out of bed and skip down to the gym. But I'm proud of myself after I do it because I did the hard work. But that other piece of discipline, and I think what's really important here is that instead of getting and buying the house that maybe you can't afford, or the car that you can afford, but you can drive something that still looks good. You'll still be able to take a date out and feel confident, and maybe save some bucks. And instead of going and blowing money on, multiple weekend getaways, going out drinking, partying, bottle service. I mean, whatever, like being disciplined and saving that money and then putting it into work into something. I think you just see so many people that just, spend money very quickly, go and live beyond their means or live right up to their means. And I think there's been multiple periods in my life where I could have afforded a better house, or this car, or to buy this and buy more of that, and being really disciplined to not do it and be okay with it. And also just not really give a shit about what anybody thinks, and just focus on me. That's really helped me. And this is, listen, times when you're growing up, you see one of your boys or this guy or that guy or this girl, like, it looks like they're crushing it. And I've seen a lot of people that you're like, damn, like, yeah, why don't I have that now or this now? And being able to like put blinders on, not worry about it, stay focused on you. And there's been a lot of people that you looked at and you're like, damn, I wish I was that guy. That guy's killing it. Put your blinders on, stay focused. And then, years later, by being disciplined, by holding back, by not taking on more expenses, than are worth it, by saving and investing, all of a sudden, a 5-year period goes by and, I've gone like this, and that person, maybe stayed the same or actually went in the other direction, because they were, they were buying a lot of the material stuff, and they were looking all fresh and sharp, and cool. And then, 5 year passes, 10 years pass. And, I think the reality is, when you're thinking about investing, growing, being successful, you got to look at it in 5 and 10 year clips, because you're not going to move the needle that much in a year. If you do, all right, maybe you invested in a deal, you got lucky in something. All right, that's cool. But, try and repeat that every year. It's usually going to take you some time. And it's probably the best advice I can give to especially anyone up and coming, is you got to have patience. And I also think the flip side of that is like, I'm saying, hey, if you're younger, like have patience. But the other side of that is if you're older, and you haven't done this work, you haven't done these things, you're not going to, it's hard to make up for lost time. So you still have to kind of start from, maybe ground zero this way. But you got to ratchet up. You
got to ratchet up into it, because, it's a common misconception that being disciplined is somehow like really bad for you, but it actually creates so much freedom. Because imagine if you're sitting in the position that you're in, you're making a ton of money in your business, and you've set a plan for yourself. You've made this investment plan of how much money you need to live off of, what that's going to look like. You've got the vision for what's important to you in your life, and you've made the decision. Now you don't need to think about it. When you decide, hey, I'm not going to drink, you don't need to think about it. It's not, should I have another one? It's, I'm not drinking this week or this night, because you've decided not to do it. And when you're actually decided on it, just as you're decided in making an investment or kind of going down this alternative investing path that can really get you towards creating a lot of passive income, it actually gives you a lot of freedom. Because when you're looking at all these other people and they're living a different life than you are, you can be inspired to step into what they're living, but by doing it the right way, by instead of going and getting steroids and going to the gym, you can go and do the hard work and then have the payoff and have your body and your finances really, really represent, kind of a healthy situation. So what I'm curious about, Joe, is talk to me a little bit about kind of your ultimate life vision. You've built an amazing business. What is this all for? Like, what is that life that you want to live? Are you looking to continue on your mission and grow something really big? Are you looking to exit the company? Are you looking to go and travel more? Like, what is the purpose behind, both building a business and making investments that's really driving your life?
Yeah. Great question. Listen, my company started, I founded it from, this vision of helping entrepreneurs access capital in a fast, easy, and efficient way so they can grow and scale. And I saw a lot of local business owners get turned down from their bank and then nowhere to go. And there's a lot of places that you actually can go. There's a lot of lenders out there that will lend to you that are not banks, and that will help scale and grow your business without taking equity. So I, went on this mission and built exactly that. We built this amazing platform, teams of people. I still have a lot of growth to do in my biz. So I'm excited to really continue to grow it and to make it even much bigger than what it is. And I really want National Business Capital to be the most recognized business lending platform out there, that a business owner, when Chase Bank or Bank of America or the big banks aren't an option, you go, oh, I'm going to go to National Business Capital. So that's my ultimate goal. And also to see the great people and teams here continue to grow with the company and do well.
And then on the personal side.
Yeah. On the personal side, my ultimate goal is, I want to, help other people really grow and scale their businesses and be more of an investor, mentor, type of individual. And I think I do that now on a very small level, to some really cool up and coming entrepreneurs. But that is my ultimate goal. And yeah, as my kids get older, they're still a little young now, but that they're growing up quickly and fast. Definitely, really it's funny as you start to do well and make money and are successful. Not everyone, is this way. Everyone's a little bit different, but the material things for me, as I've matured and grown, like a better house or cars or watches, or listen, I like nice stuff, so don't let me fool you, but yeah. And I have nice things. It's all good, but I think it's just more about experiences now and cool experiences that actually lights me up more than some like a material purchase. So doing cool things and seeing the world, I definitely want to see the world. And every time I get out there and visit a new place, it's always motivating and inspiring. And certain times outside of the country, depending on where it is, it all, brings a lot of appreciation back that, we do live in a pretty cool place.
Yeah, I think it's important to kind of understand that, what are we really working towards? Why are we doing this? Because sometimes as business owners or even, high performing career professionals, it's so easy to get stuck in that cycle of grow, business. I mean, for myself, I've had to intentionally go out and develop and create hobbies. And I bring the same level of intensity to learning to golf or snowboarding or whatever it is that I'm doing, because that's kind of just my personality and I love doing it. But for me, for so long, business was everything and still is. Yeah. It's probably, 80% of my focus. I yet to have built a family. I look forward to doing that at some point, but having that vision of a greater life and then a mission, right? A mission of what that is really about can really be a big driving force.
Thank you for listening to the Investor Mindset Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Head over to theinvestormindset.com to join the Insider Club, where we share tools and strategies from the top investors and entrepreneurs on how to take it to the next level.